channel. It's me, Cope Baby, and I'm gonna be doing a quick little video on my everyday makeup look. I'm about to get out the house, go get some food and stuff like that, and I decided to do this video because I do need a little more content for my channel. What I'm doing right now is just using some witch hazel. My face is already clean, but I like to use witch hazel whenever I could because I do have some stubborn dark spots that I would love to see vanish. So I always start off with that. I don't necessarily go for a full coverage look. I just like kind of the bare minimum if I'm gonna be doing my makeup myself, enough to cover like the little stubborn dark spots that I have in certain areas. And so this is just basically what works for me. Do not hold me to it if I'm doing something wrong or using the wrong brush, because this is what I'm doing. This is how I do it. All right, so let's get into it. Start with my eyebrows. Very simple. So I do have a mirror in front of me because I need to see what I'm doing. So I just start by brushing them out like this. Okay, get the shape rolling, and always start using a sharp pencil. This is a LA Colors pencil. I got it from Walmart. It's like $1, and I really like this one. Before this one I was using Wet n Wild. I find that with Wet n Wild, if you're using a pencil for your brows, it is more oily, and I already have oily skin, so I try to stay away from that. So I'm gonna just go in and trace the outline of my brow, and then I'll fill it in. So as you can see, I just went in and traced the shape of my brow. I do already have like pretty defined brows, I guess. So it's fairly, now that I have the shape of my brows exactly how I like them, I sharpen my pencil again, because for this part, I'm gonna try to do hair-like strokes to give it a very natural look. And it works best if your pencil is sharp, so you can get them as fine as possible. So I'm just gonna kind of go in. Well, actually, let me use a mirror so y'all can kind of see more close up what I'm doing. I'm gonna start in the front. So just kind of drawing very light strokes of hair into my brow with a sharp pencil. A sharp pencil gets you the best results. That's why I keep saying that. Okay, so this is kind of like what I like it to look like, okay, once I finish, because I'm gonna go in and brush, but you know, one step at a time. So we're gonna get to that. And also, this is why I decided to do this video like this and not do a voiceover, because I find with a voiceover, I'm always making sure that I'm enunciating stuff correctly, and I just thought it was kind of boring. So I wanted to do a video so y'all can really get a feel for the vibe and the personality, because I'm fun. So I'm stopping to sharpen my pencil because she's a little flat. All right, so now I have both of my brows drawn on the way that I like. I'm just gonna use this same little spoolie brush to brush out the front. You can do this before or after, but I'm gonna do it before I go in with concealer is all I mean. Okay, so I'm just lightly brushing out the front of the brow. To give it like more of a natural look, you know. All right, and this is how they look now. Don't worry about this. All that's gonna be taken care of. Okay, so next I'm gonna be using my concealer. This concealer is by Black Opal in the color Heavenly Honey. This is what I use to kind of highlight. And mind you, whenever I'm doing my own makeup, I don't so much go for like highlighting a lot or contouring very much, because I like it to look very natural. This is a natural look that I'm going for. And this brush is by Real Techniques. I know that because I love it. I love this brush. This is the kind of brush that I use for my brows. Most people use an angled brush. I'm sure that would be easier, but for me, I've just always used one like this because at one point it was all I had. So I learned how to make it work, and now I just won't use anything. So whenever I do it, I underline, well, not underline, I trace underneath just to clean up anything. And as you can see, I'm not using too much product. This is how I like to do it. I've never liked to use too much product. I don't even know what to do if I use too much product. I just find that I blend it a lot better when I don't use a lot, and I don't really need a lot because this color is very close to my skin. My skin, very much skin underneath. All right, so after that, for the top, I don't like to use the same color that I used underneath my eyebrow for the top. So I'm using another concealer by Black Opal. This one is in the shade Nutmeg, which is a little too dark for me. So I put a little dab of Heavenly Honey into this and mix it to get my perfect shade. And with that, I'm just gonna be cleaning up the top of my brow. And also I'm gonna use this for something else too, just wait. So like I said, I'm gonna do both sides of the brush with the concealer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up the tops of my brows, and I will use the mirror for this. Go ahead and clean up the top of my brows, and then I'm gonna take this same color mixture that I made with my concealer and just brush it out. When I mix those two colors together, I literally get the color of my skin. So as you can see, they are more defined now, standing out. I know there's still a little bit here, but we're gonna clean that up afterwards. So next, I think I'm pretty much done with my brows. This is fine for me. I'm gonna use my pore filler before I move on to putting the concealer on my dark spot. And this pore filler is by NYX. I love it. It makes my makeup go on really, really smooth, and it gives me a nice clean finish. So yeah, that same mixture that I made with the Nutmeg and the Heavenly Honey concealer, I'm gonna use that same brush that I used for my eyebrows and just use that little mix to brush over the areas where I have dark covered those areas that I have my dark spots with this concealer blend. I'm going to use this brush. This brush is by e.l.f. and it is a concealer brush. I like to spray it with a little bit of my Badescu Facial Spray, and this is the Cucumber and Green Tea. I love it, it's awesome. Sometimes I finish my makeup with it. If not, I do have a setting spray that I like to use, but I don't know, it's just something about that. It just gives you that natural skin look, I think. I'm just gonna like buff this in, just so that way once I put my foundation, it does blend a little better. And I'm gonna look into the mirror for this part. Yes, I be needing to remember to put on some chapstick when I get to talking like this. I just find that my lips always get so dry, and I don't like that. So I blended it in, not too much, but you know, the foundation will cover the rest. And for foundation, I'm using, I think this is Fit Me. Yeah, this is Fit Me Matte Poreless, and this is the color Cappuccino in 340. Sometimes I think it's Coconut 355 that I use, and now I'm in 340. I don't know. I'm just gonna say that it's the products that I'm using that makes my skin get brighter. And I'm sure now that summer's about to be approaching, I will get a little darker, but for now, 340 is what works for me. And Cappuccino, I'm gonna use the same brush, use it for everything, just to put it on my face though, because I don't like too much foundation. I do not. I just like enough to give you like that even layer on the top, you know, that's it. My best friend is a makeup artist, and I know she's gonna laugh when she watches this. And y'all should definitely go follow her Instagram page, Cold Artistry. That's who normally does my makeup. If you see me, you know, photo shoot ready, she's done it. She's great. y'all go follow her. I'm gonna put her Instagram name in the description box just because. Shout out to my homegirl. All right, and as you can see, this shade is pretty much perfect for me. I wonder if y'all can really see, like, there is product on my face. I don't know how light or how dark it looks, but it's very much there. And my beauty blender, it is a little damp, but I'm gonna go in with this Mario Badescu again and just spray it. I did, you know, drench it earlier, and I kind of let it dry out a little bit. So yeah, now I'm just gonna go in and blend all that foundation. Okay, so before I move on to concealing, I am going to use my setting powder, and this is Wet n Wild setting powder in the shade Banana, to set my eyebrows. I forgot to do that, but that is what I like to do because this area for me, and this is my Real Techniques setting brush. I just dust a little bit on there and go over the brow and the lid where I put that concealer, and just let that sit and do its thing. Alright, so now I'm gonna use the same black opal concealer in Heavenly Honey and just put a little underneath the eye. Little right here, and I'm not gonna do this area just yet. Normally I would, but I'm gonna do it a little differently. So more of my Mario Badescu, and I'm just gonna go ahead and blend this out. So when I was sitting in on my best friend doing one of her clients' makeup, I heard her say that you don't want to press in your concealer too much because that kind of defeats the purpose of the highlight underneath the eyes. So I'm gonna try not to blend because I do like to have that little bit of highlight. Like, I think that is so cute. So this is as far as I'm gonna blend my concealer in, and I do want to put a little bit more over here. So you can kind of see where it's placed. All right, in those same areas that I just put my concealer, I'm going to cover with that same setting powder. Let it do its thing. Let it bake on up. I do not contour. But I just started contouring my nose because I think that really gives my look a little bit of a pop and kind of make it look like I have that natural snatch look that we all like to go for. So I'm going to be using this brush. I need a different brush to do this. This brush is by e.l.f. and it is a blending eye brush. So it's not the right brush that I should be using. That's probably why I have such a hard time with it, but this is the brush that I use and this is what I'm using. So I'm going to contour starting right here, and this is a dark shade. This is a Milani palette. I'm sorry, I was about to tell y'all, well, not about to tell y'all what I was using, and as you can see, it is very beat up because I used the hell out of it. But this is the Gilded Nude Palette, and this shade is called And Chill. It's like a darker little brown tone right there, and I'm going to use that right here and kind of brush it down the side of the bridge of my nose. And I'm gonna look in the mirror because, child, I'm gonna mess it up. I'm just gonna bring it down, making sure I don't put too much. I put enough to where it stands out. I hope you guys can see it on camera. as good as it looks already. It just looks so good. Yeah, you can see it. You see I'm just bringing it down both sides. All right, and from there, I'm going to go back in with my Heavenly Honey concealer. I still have a little bit on my hand, and this brush is by, I think this brush is by Real Techniques too, and it's like a little angled brush, if you can see. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that Heavenly Honey and highlight the bridge of my nose. I'm gonna look in here because I don't want to mess it up. Kind of let the concealer sit on the bridge of my nose for a little second, and in that time I brush away the excess setting powder that I've had on my face, setting underneath my eyes. And on my chin. All right, and then from there I'm going to use my, well, am I going to use this one? Yeah, I'm gonna use my beauty blender, spray with a little bit of Mario, and blend in that highlighter that that concealer that I have on the bridge of my nose. I kind of let it dry a lot, so I gotta like brush it in. And I am gonna do a little bit of highlight right here because I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place, but I'm gonna do it now. Just a couple little pecks of it because I think that does make a nice little difference for me when I'm doing my makeup. And I'm not gonna let that sit. I'm gonna go straight into blending it. It's just, the eyebrow pencil shavings are so annoying. It gets on everything and stains everything, as you can see. And I'm gonna use this same little cut crease brush, aka my blending brush that I use for everything, and I'm just gonna pat that in. I am going to set it a little bit. Very lightly. Okay, so now I'm going to use the same brush that I used to put on that contour, well, the little contour that I made, because it's actually an eyeshadow palette. But the contour palette that I have, the powder is just a little too, like, it's dry. It's very dry. So I use that one. It's pigmented, and I feel like the shade is perfect for my contour. So that's what I use. And I'm using that same brush. I cleaned it off with that pad that I have my witch hazel on. And I'm going to go in with the shade Do Not Disturb, which is barely there because I used the hell out of it. And I use this to kind of clean up where I put that darker shade. Like, for instance, you can see how right here, maybe it might be a little too harsh. And I'm gonna use the mirror right here. I'm trying to use my phone to see, clean it up and just make it a little less harsh, make it blend. I do that to both sides, or if I nail it, you know I don't have to, but I never nail it. And a little bit along the sides too, like right here, I felt that was just a little too much. Just apply this and clean that up. And see, that's perfect. Also on this eyeshadow palette, I do like to use 75 and Sunny. That's another one that's all worn out. And I use this to highlight underneath my brows. It's perfect for highlighting if you ask me. and I just put it right underneath right here to give me that little pop. It's a gold tinted color with like a little bit of glitter, so that's real cute. I will never not highlight underneath my brows. Like, it's just so cute. And also I'm gonna highlight down the bridge of my nose where I put that concealer, and a little bit right on the tip. I do like to wet it before I put it on the tip because I do like for that to stand out. I like that little pop. It's real cute. Period. All right, I'm very satisfied. And for my lips, I'm gonna be using my Wet n Wild dark brown pencil. Sharpen it just a little bit because it's a little worn down, honey. Right, and I'm going to line my lips now. This is my technique. This is how I like for my lips to look. So whenever I'm doing it, I overline just a little bit my top lip, which is not really necessary because I do have really full lips, but for the look, that's what we're gonna do. See? And from there, I just kind of drew in instead of blending it out so much because I don't like to go through all that, but I just smack it a little to get the color down. And I actually always take some witch hazel or whatever I have on my pad. Normally it's alcohol, but it's witch hazel today. And I get it off the bottom lip. I don't know why, but I don't like to put liner on my bottom lip. I just like it on the top. I guess probably because I already have naturally dark lips, so lining them, just putting too much, it just looks weird to me. It just looks too dark. I don't like it. And I'm gonna be using my NYX Butter Gloss over it to give it that nice pretty color. I'm always trying to do stuff using just the camera. See, like, this is a really cute color. A really nice shade. If you don't have NYX Butter Gloss, and I pat it in because I don't like to smear the color too much. I like that liner to really stay put where I have it. See? Like such. And then once I'm done with that, I use my e.l.f. lip plumper, and I only put that on my top lip, like right where my lips start. So I line my top lip with it. Because it'll get plump right there, and it just gives you like that really cute pop. Kind of like a Bratz doll lip. That's what I kind of call it. Yes, I love it. And you know what? I think that's it. besides setting my face. So I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild Natural Finish. This one, I started using this one like in high school when I was doing my makeup, and I like it. If I don't use this, I use Mario or some Rose Water, also by Mario, or Milani. I like Milani too. Spray it. I am quite pleased with this look. I think it's real cute. So next I'm gonna go do my hair and show y'all that, and I think that'll be it for us. Right, and that pretty much wraps up this video. This is my finished look. Very cute, if I do say so myself. It's natural but with a little bit of pop. Highlighter is rolling, and yeah, that's it. I am always trained out. I'm done. I'm about to get out of this and head out. Hopefully y'all enjoyed watching and y'all want to try this look yourself real quick and cute. Yeah, that's it. Thank y'all. Like, subscribe, notifications on. Until next time, go baby.